Right guys, welcome to another episode of Total Carping. We're down here at the Yateley South Lake again today. I've got a 72-hour session on my hands. I've already done 24 hours of my session. Unfortunately nothing's happened as of yet. I was in another swim for the first 24 hours. Noticed a bit of bubbling when I first walked round, so I thought I'd drop in there. There was quite a few people around the lake, and the area that I chose was a sort of quiet bay, so I thought here I might have a few bites on the cards. Unfortunately nothing happened. And a guy who was in the swim that I am in now before me had a couple of fish, a 27 and a 31, so I thought, job done. He was moving out at 2 o'clock, I can't miss this opportunity, so I jumped in here. Been in here about an hour, nothing's happened yet, but plenty of fish showing in front of me. And that's it. We got probably about 48 hours left of my session, so plenty of time to catch one, but it'd be nice to get one pretty quickly, as I don't like to leave it to the last minute, but let's see how things happen. Right, morning. Just goes to show that a move pays off. I moved around from the other side of the lake yesterday because I knew I wasn't on fish. Jumped in after a guy that had a couple. I spent the whole night without anything. Couple of liners, the fish still continued to bosh, but eventually at 6 o'clock in the morning it's gone off. 22.5 pound, caught on a naked choddy with a 16mm TNT pop-up. Really light lead. I'm fishing just on a little bit of Canadian pondweed out there. And the bailiff told me this was bite time, so I'm going to get this one back, and I think we'll try and get a few more. Absolutely made up with that. Right guys, I thought I'd just talk you through the rig of the session. To be honest, I don't really fish chods on the line that much. I usually prefer fishing on my leg core, but with the little bit of weed that we've got out there, I thought I just wanted a bit more of a subtler presentation. So I chose this. What I've got is a 1.5 ounce lead, really light lead. Just as chod sleeve buffer, just sits above there, keeps it nice and neat and stops the hook link going too far towards the lead. About a foot above that, I've got a bead, and then my little chod section, I've got a double ring swivel on there, which just adds loads of movement. And before I cast out, I always give that a nice little curve round again. I haven't got a bait on there at the moment, just because I literally just cut it off to put a new one on. And then about 4 foot up the line, got another one of these sinkers that I've just placed a bead over, and that slides off really easy with minimal effort. So if there's a snap off or a crack off or anything like that, the fish will just pull that bead off the sinker, and it'll just be left with the chod section, nothing else. So it's really safe rig, probably the safest rig there is out there, as long as you set the beads up correctly. Whack it out there and catch some carp. Right, there we go, second fish of the morning. It's now about 11 o'clock. Right hand rod on the chod again, naked chod, just cast into the weed and it's showing fish, ripped off again. Absolutely stunning mirror, just over £17. Really happy. Let's get this fish back, get that rod back out on the spot. There's loads of fish showing, so could be in for a big hit here. Okay, let's get him back. Right guys, we're coming into the evening now. It's a beautiful evening here at the Yateley South Lake. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the baiting that I've done throughout the session. Nowadays I'm predominantly a boilie angler. There's not really any pellet in sight anymore. I just think that when you get fish feeding on boilies, they're a lot easier to catch, and to be honest it's a lot easier. This is the tool I use, just a throwing stick, and so far I've got through about 5 kilo of TNT. I put about 1 kilo out last night, and when I was in the other swim for the first 24 hours I put out quite a bit of bait there as well. One of the reasons is there's a lot of fish in here. They're hungry fish. It's getting colder now, so they're going to need to eat to stock up for the winter. So yeah, I've been putting out every sort of couple of hours. I've been putting out another 20-30 baits. It's a bit hard here because we've got a bad seagull problem, but I just think that sound of bait always going through the water just sort of attracts fish into the area. And generally after every sort of 20 or 30 baits, you're starting to see fish showing on the spot. So yeah, I've just been fishing the quite pale 16mm TNT pop-ups over the top, and they're a lovely colour. As I said before in previous episode, I love the washed out look. I'm pretty sure it bags you more fish, and definitely bigger fish as well. So there you go, there's the baiting approach. Right, there we go. What another wonderful start to last morning. 21.5 common. It's absolutely rattled off. This must have hit the chod so hard. Don't think I've ever had such a vicious take. Tried to get me around the back of the island, but just some steady side pressure got her through. She locked me up in a weed bed for about 2 minutes or so, but again, steady pressure. She came through like a diamond. Well happy with that. First common of the session. Probably got about 3 or 4 hours left of the 72-hour session, but I'm well happy. Really enjoying it so far. Let's get her back. Right, how about that? I'm absolutely over the moon. To be honest, I didn't think that bite was going to come this morning. I had a fish during the night, a 13-pound mirror, sort of linear, at 3 o'clock, and to be honest, I just sort of pub chucked them out after that. He wiped my other line out, but that's a good thing about chods, you know, you can be sort of fairly happy that they're sitting right, and that just goes to show with a lovely 21.5 common this morning. Just going to get a cup of tea on now, have some breakfast, and I think I'm going to have a slow pack away. You never know, there might be another one on the cards, but if you don't see me again, that's because I haven't had anything, but really enjoyed the session, and I guess we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys. And that's why I love carp fishing. I can't explain what just happened, but I'll have a try. I literally wazzed out the rod that I had left, still with the pop-up on. After that fish this morning, I thought I'd just have a slow pack away, packing away, a happy boy. Just whiz this one out, just on the off chance I might have another one. And that's why you can say never in carp fishing, because it's whizzed off. This has been the hardest fighter's fish of the session. I thought this was a bigger fish, but it only comes in at 19 pound, but I'm not complaining. An absolutely pristine Yateley 19 pounder. Let's get him back. Well, how about that? I'm absolutely soaked through, I'm knackered, I need a shower, but that last fish just rounded it off for me. Literally whizzed that rod out, just in no hope. Still had the old faithful 16mm TNT popper on there though. I'm over the moon, I'm absolutely shattered, so I guess we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.